Hey guys, in this video I'm going to compare two of the biggest digitizing companies in the United States, the Digitize Center and Legacybox. We're going to look at a few different things to make this comparison, including price, quality, turnaround time, offering, and reputation. So stay tuned as we start this review. So if you're like me, you've had some digitizing done for your family. It's always a great gift for the family come the holidays and will likely bring smiles and laughter to everyone involved. So before I embarked on my digitizing journey, I decided to do an in-depth comparison of some of the big companies that do this. Two of the biggest are the Digitize Center and Legacybox. You've probably heard their ads on the radio and seen them on Facebook, but both companies pretty much do the same thing. But from my own experiment, I found some pretty big differences. So let's dive in and see what we find. Price. Alright, so let's start with one of the most important aspects when comparing any two businesses, their pricing. Fortunately, this was pretty easy to compare, as both companies' pricing is pretty much identical. Both companies are always running some kind of promotion, so make sure you take advantage of that. And the Digitize Center has their promotion automatically on their website, whereas Legacybox usually requires a coupon code. I looked at pricing for their tiers of items, and they both base it off how many items you send in to get digitized. You can send batches of 2, 10, 20, 40, or more, and what's nice about both companies is they charge by the item rather than by the duration of an item. So if you have a VHS tape that is completely full, it's the same price as one that's maybe an hour long. You are also charged for your output, such as a digital download, thumb drive, or a DVD set. The pricing between the two companies is the same on this as well, with one noticeable difference. Legacybox charges an annual fee when you sign up for their cloud, and the Digitize Center does not. So that's something to keep an eye on if you're going to have a digital download as your output choice. So, looking at pricing, my final determination here is I would call it a tie between the Digitize Center and Legacybox. Let's go on to the next metric here, which is quality. Now, quality is extremely important to me, and it should definitely be important to you when it comes to digitizing your old family memories and stuff like that. If a company's not giving you a superb quality, then that final product will look bad, and you just don't want to do that with your precious memories, especially since these are older and they require some special work. So the first thing I did was I looked for both companies' quality metrics on their website. Fortunately, both companies are pretty transparent about this, and I was pleasantly surprised to find that both companies digitize videotapes at original resolution, which is actually what you want when it comes to digitizing videotapes, because then they don't stretch anything out and kind of ruin the quality. Now, both companies also digitized photos and slides at a high DPI, which was nice to see as well. Where there was some difference is when it came to film. So if you're looking at 8mm film, Super 8 film, and 16mm film, the Digitize Center has a clear advantage here as they digitize all their film at 1080p resolution, which is high definition, whereas Legacybox digitizes film at an abysmal 480p resolution, which is standard resolution. When it comes to quality, if you have a lot of film, the Digitize Center has a huge advantage here. I was also pleased to find that the Digitize Center provides their bitrate quality metric, which is actually extremely important when it comes to videos that you get digitized. What bitrate basically is how much quality is packed into each second, minute, hour of video that you have. And the higher the bitrate, the larger the file size is going to be, but it's a very significant increase in quality if it has a large bitrate. So fortunately, I was able to see that the Digitize Center does provide their bitrate, and it is a very high bitrate. That is a good thing. Unfortunately, Legacybox, I could not find anything about their bitrate, so I can't give a review on that. So given what I found here on quality, I'm going to give the edge to the Digitize Center over the Legacybox, strictly from the bitrate perspective and definitely on the film perspective. So let's look at the next aspect I looked at, and that is turnaround time. Now, one of the most frustrating parts about digitizing is the time it takes to complete. If you're not aware, digitizing is actually a time-intensive process, and unfortunately, there really is no way to speed it up without damaging the quality. So I was very curious to see what each company's processing time is. So on the Digitize Center's website, they advertise a processing time of 2 to 3 weeks for standard orders. On Legacybox's website, they advertise a processing time of 10 to 12 weeks. Now that's quite a difference between the two, so basically what I did is my own experiment. And I did this as well for the entire review. I sent in identical orders to both Legacybox and the Digitize Center, and I noted down all the differences that I had when I got them back. So when it came to turnaround time, when I sent the exact same order to both companies, the Digitize Center finished it in about 3 weeks, and Legacybox finished it in 9 weeks. I don't know why Legacybox's turnaround time is so much higher. Maybe they have too many orders. I don't know what it is, but that is quite a long time to have your memories out there and not knowing what's going on with them. So I have to obviously give the edge to the Digitize Center and give them the W when it comes to turnaround time. So let's look at the next aspect of my review, and that is offering. And what offering is basically I want to know what these companies can digitize. So when I looked at their website, you can see a full list on both their websites of what they digitize. And for the most part, they overlap on a lot of this stuff. Both companies can digitize VHS tapes, Betamax tapes, high 8 tapes, digital 8 tapes, those are camcorder tapes, regular 8 film, Super 8 film, 16 millimeter film, audio cassettes, mini DV tapes, photos, 35 millimeter slides, and 35 millimeter negatives. That's what both companies can do. However, the Digitize Center can digitize a few more things. They can do CDs and DVDs, they can digitize floppy disk, and they can also do slides and negative that are not the standard 35 millimeter slides. So that's quite a larger offering that Digitize Center can do. So when it comes to which company has a better offering on stuff they can digitize, it's a clear advantage for the Digitize Center, and I'm going to give them the point on this one. All right. Last but certainly not least, let's get to company reputation. Because when it comes to digitizing, reputation is everything. You don't want a company that has a reputation for mishandling, damaging, or losing your memories when you send them off to them. That would be a complete disaster. So reputation when it comes to choosing your digitizing company is extremely important. So looking at Legacybox, they've been around for a long time. There is no shortage of reviews to look at. The Digitize Center is a newer company than Legacybox, so they seem to have less reviews. However, on the flip side, the Digitize Center being new, their technology is likely newer, at least that's what they advertise, which is probably why they have a quicker turnaround time and generally a better quality digitization. So when I'm looking at reviews, I don't look at reviews that are posted on each company's website, as this can be misleading. So instead, I looked at third-party websites which collects reviews about companies such as Yelp, Google, Trustpilot, stuff like this. And what I looked at was the average rating, what people usually liked, and what people usually complained about. So I read through hundreds of reviews, and you start to see a pattern, what people really like, what they didn't like, what the big complaints were, and where everyone kind of stands. So this is what I found. So looking at Legacybox, I found the following. Customers liked how easy it was to use their service. This was a common thing. They really liked how easy it was. You order a box, you pack it up, you send it back. That's all you do. You do have to sticker each item, but that's a minor inconvenience. One thing customers at Legacybox did not like was how long it took. I saw a lot of reviews where people complained that it took way too long to complete. Even though they advertised a 10 to 12 week turnaround time, I saw reviews complaining that it took several months to get their stuff back, which is a no-no. Another thing I found on Legacybox is customers were not always thrilled about the quality. This was kind of a mixed bag. Some customers really did seem to like the quality. Others absolutely hated it. And there were some complaints about, they weren't able to digitize this at all, and they have no idea why, or stuff like that. I saw a lot of that, but the quality issues, that was sort of a thing when I was reading through the reviews. The last thing I found on Legacybox is customers had a very hard time getting a hold of customer service. Now, this is disappointing because when you're sending your priceless memories out, you want to be able to call and talk to someone on the phone. So that is very disappointing that they apparently don't have good customer service according to these reviews. All right, so looking at the Digitize Center, I did the same exact thing. I read through all the reviews on third-party sites. I looked at the average rating, what people usually liked, what people complained about, stuff like that. And here's what I found. So first, same as Legacybox, customers liked how easy it was to use. It's the same sort of model. You order, they send you a box, you pack it up, you send it back with the label they provide you. That's all you got to do. Now, on the contrary, with the Digitize Center, a lot of reviews were of customers absolutely loving the quality of their digitized memories. Now, this is really promising to see because that's what you want to see when it comes to working on these old tapes, photos, slides, film. You want the quality to look fantastic because this old stuff's not meant to play on newer devices such as smart TVs, computers, smartphones. So the fact that a lot of Digitize Center customers really love the quality, that is great, which means they're doing something really good when it comes to quality of their digitizations. Also, reading through the reviews, I found customers were happy with the price. I did find something customers were not happy about, and that was how long it took. So it appears that the Digitize Center, what they have is with their processing time is it kind of fluctuates. There's a page on their website you go to when you first place your order that shows you what their current processing time is. When I made this video, their processing time was 2 to 3 weeks. When I placed my order with them, it took 3 weeks. But apparently that fluctuates because I did see some reviews saying, hey, it took 8 weeks for me to get my stuff back. So I can see why customers were not happy about that. The last thing I saw when reading Digitize Center reviews were customers seemed to be very happy with the customer service. Now, this is in contrast to Legacybox where we saw the opposite. So that's good to know that apparently with the Digitize Center, they have good customer service. I did look on their website. Their phone number's right there. Their email address is right there. So that's good to see. Now, before we finish this up, I did see on the Digitize Center's website, they have this claim that they have never lost or damaged a single memory. Now, I must say, if this is true, then bravo. Bravo. Because it is everyone's worst nightmare to have their precious memories lost. And that statement really could bring me some peace of mind. Because when I was reading reviews of some other companies, and I don't want to name them by name, I did see some reviews saying they lost my stuff and I never got it back and it's lost forever. Now that's just heartbreaking to me because that could be decades and decades and decades of, family moments you're never going to get back. So when I read on the Digitize Center their claim they've never lost or damaged a single memory and they seem to stand by that, that is very good for me because that is of course the biggest fear. So, given everything we've looked at and everything I looked at and my experiments I ran and looking at their website, with all this, I'm going to give first the edge and reputations. Got to go to the Digitize Center. Generally, the reviews were a little bit better. Customers loved the quality as opposed to Legacybox, and they were happy with the customer service. However, I got to give some props to Legacybox for being around for a long time. They've been doing this a long time, so you got to give them some credit for that. So, taking all this together and adding up all the metrics that I did, and remember, we looked at a few things here. We looked at price, we looked at quality, we looked at turnaround time, we looked at offering, and lastly, and certainly not least, we looked at reputation. So, adding these all up, I have the Digitize Center winning 4-0 with one tie. Remember, they tie on pricing. So, if you're getting ready to embark on a big digitization project, I always recommend you do your own research before deciding which company to use. Don't just take my word for it. But I would strongly recommend you trust the Digitize Center with handling and digitizing your memories. So again, thanks for watching, guys. And if you really like this video, I would really appreciate if you would like and subscribe to my channel. All right? Peace and love.